please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
The headlines at the start is the show where our team at CNBC TV18 gets you the top stories of the day. I'm Arif Sherwani. You're watching Reporter's Diary. Well, the top story that we're tracking today, the Central Bureau of Investigation has arrested Karti Chidambaram for his alleged involvement in the INX media case. So Karti, who's also the son of former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram, was arrested at the Chennai airport after he returned from London. He has now been taken to a CBI designated court in Delhi. The CBI had filed its FIR in the case last year. It had alleged that there were irregularities in the erstwhile Foreign Investment Promotion Board's clearance to INX Media for receiving overseas funds to the tune of 350 crore rupees in 2007 when P. Chidambaram was the finance minister. Now, the FIR alleges that INX Media paid 10 lakh rupees to Karti's firm as consultancy fees. We learned that he was arrested for not cooperating with the CBI in its probe. Now, just hours after the arrest of his... Right, so just hours after the arrest of his son, former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram issued a statement accusing the government of using the CBI to target his family. The statement read, and I quote, "It was a collective decision by the Foreign Investment Promotion Board to grant clearance to INX Media to receive overseas funds. The government's aim is to silence my voice and stop me from writing. All I will say is I shall continue to speak and write," unquote. And Chidambaram's party, the Congress, has also jumped to Karti Chidambaram's defense. The Congress has claimed that Karti's arrest is aimed at diverting focus from Punjab National Bank, the scam there. The opposition parties have also questioned the timing of his arrest. BJP Subramaniam Swamy, meanwhile, maintained that Karti has been given enough chances and that his father P. Chidambaram should be arrested next. Let's listen in.
ऐसा तो होना ही था। मैं देख रही थी कि किस पे निशाना ला देंगे ये लोग, और कार्तिक चिदम्बरम इज सिटिंग डक फॉर दिस। तो बस नीरव मोदी का बारे में कोई बोल देंगे नहीं, बाकी जितने भी हेरा फेरी चल रहा है उसके बारे में बोलेंगे नहीं, अमित शाह के बेटे के बारे में कुछ नहीं होगा। मगर हाँ, कार्तिक चिदम्बरम को इस समय अभी गिरफ्तार करना है ताकि देश का नजर इन पे पड़े।
CBI gave them a lot of chances, but he continued to tell lies even when the documents were, I think. Now, the crime he has committed is to receive the bribe money. But the arrangement for getting the bribe was done by Chidambaram, his father. So, Chidambaram also must be arrested.
Right, let's also get you the latest from the PNB fraud case, the amount of which has now been revised to 12,800 crores from 11,400 crores. So the news is tightening around Nirav Modi as well as Mehul Choksi as investigative agencies up the ante. We learned from sources that the Enforcement Directorate has moved the Prevention of Money Laundering or PMLA court seeking non-bailable warrants against the two accused jewelers. Sources say the non-bailable warrant will enable the ED to begin the extradition process. Investigative agencies have also begun a crackdown in several other bank fraud cases. The CBI has filed an FIR against West Bengal-based RP Infosystems as well as its directors. They are accused of a fraud of over 500 crore rupees. In fact, Utkarsh has been tracking that story. He joins us with all the details. Utkarsh, what are you picking up regarding that case?
Let me explain the case to you first of all. So RP Infosystems is a company which deals into hardware, computers and laptops. Now what CBI complaint given to CBI by Canara Bank alleges is that a loan of somewhere around 515 crore rupees was taken by RP Infosystems, and then in turn going ahead they defaulted on these loans. And now what these bankers are really alleging is cheating on the part of RP Infosystems, basically on three grounds, and I will read those three grounds. One is cheating done through availing bank funds on basis of false and fabricated stock and receivables. Second, RP Infosystems inflated its receivables to show on the books of accounts. And thirdly is that RP Infosystems did not route the sale proceeds through the loan account and siphoned off the entire money. In fact, some of the clients of RP Infosystem, which they showed in their books of accounts, such as CEAT and GAIL, went ahead and said that they had no business with RP Infosystems whatsoever. Now, what is important in this case is that these accounts were declared in NPA back in 2013, and in 2015-16, these bankers went ahead and declared the account of RP Infosystems as fraud and reported it to RBI. Now, why is it that after 2 years they have approached the Central Bureau of Investigation for really going ahead and looking into this case? Two reasons. One can be obviously that after the whole PNB scam fallout, all the bankers are in a fear to report any such mischievous activities which have been there in the system in the past or going on currently. Or secondly, it can be that they have now gained courage to really go ahead and go to CBI and complain about this. But the more important question here is that if that's the case, how many of these cases at this point of time which have been fraudulent are under the wraps, and how many more cases in the next 1 month or 7 to 10 days we can see coming from the sides of bank, which we can see a mischievous activity or any illegal activity being taking place.
Right. Thanks, Utkarsh, for joining us with all the details from there. But let's also get you the latest from the tussle that's brewing in the telecom space. So Bharti Enterprises Chairman Sunil Bharti Mittal has reacted to telecom regulator TRAI's latest order on predatory pricing. In an exclusive conversation with CNBC TV18's Megha Vishwanath, Sunil Bharti Mittal said that Bharti Airtel will challenge the order, as that's the only option it's left with. Here's an excerpt of that conversation.
Telecom industry has been into a lot of litigation. Unfortunately, I hope that the regulators and the governments see all the litigation that is sitting in the telecom industry and lower the cause of litigation. On this one, we have heard the regulatory chairman to say legal recourse is welcome. So I don't think so there's any other choice here.
So you will jump onto the legal battle, sir?
I don't think so there's any choice, because you can't be in the market with your hands tied up. So I think a legal recourse is inevitable.
I want to get a quick comment about a few, responses from the Vodafone CEO that has surfaced on the sidelines, which says that the TRAI guide or order on predatory pricing completely favors Reliance Jio. He's gone on record to say that. He's also said that, that this needs to be legally challenged. I caught up with Sunil Bharti Mittal just a couple of minutes back right here in Barcelona, and he echoed those thoughts, and he said that taking a legal recourse is inevitable. Your comments on that, sir?
So what we do is we allow the individual member companies to actually litigate on these matters. It's tariffs are a market reality, and those are litigated there. Our issue is with the regulator's order, not even with the regulator. A particular order and series of orders seem to have distorted the level playing field, and that is what we have highlighted. So our issue is not with any operator. The individual operators will vigorously pursue their interests, and that's fine, and that's the way it should be. The role of an association is to, one, try and make sure that the government's policy, the regulatory policy, are equally applied to everybody. And so that's the role we play. And as they say in India, if you see something, say something. So that's all we've done.
Right, on that note, we'll slip into a short break, but coming up on the other side.
What are the chances of a big bang Tata Elxsi TCS Tata Technologies merger?
You should ask their shareholders.
In an exclusive interview with CNBC TV18, TCS chief Rajesh Gopinath rules out any merger with Tata Elxsi, says consolidation with the Tata Group IT companies is not on the agenda. That conversation coming up on the other side. Welcome back. You're still with us on Reporter's Diary. Now, MD and CEO of India's largest IT company, TCS, Rajesh Gopinath, has completed 1 year at the top of the company last week. Now, in an exclusive interaction with Kritika Saxena earlier today, the TCS top boss laid out the strategy for the company's next leg of growth and expressed confidence that the company will continue to grow ahead of industry average growth rates. He's also said that he expects the deal momentum to pick up in FY19. Not just that, Rajesh Gopinath has also clarified on merger talks between Tata Elxsi and TCS. Here's an excerpt of that chat.
This is something that everyone wants to know, Rajesh. NASSCOM has already given its guidance for the IT sector. TCS is on the Executive Council. 7 to 9% is what they are expecting, which is a marginal increase. TCS has obviously been ahead of, for the most part of the last 10 years, been ahead of industry average. Would that continue in FY19 as well?
Yeah, it depends on what the industry is. I think if you take the industry as technology services providers, we definitely are. Yeah. But NASSCOM now represents a much wider variety. Yeah. There are delivery centers of foreign companies here. There are captive units of other industries here. Yeah. They're all getting clubbed into and they're being called part of the industry. Hardly part of the industry. That's not their business. Yeah. So in our
that's not the right
in our competitive
anymore?
Set, I think we are quite confident about it. The rest of it depends on company dynamics and rather than competitive dynamics. So we don't want to comment about it.
Okay, but will you be within that range or higher?
Again, as I said, I don't want to use that as a benchmark. Okay, it's not the right one.
In terms of the scale and the deal momentum, are things looking better as you go into FY19? Is FY19 looking like a better year than FY18?
So every time around this time of the year you ask that
I always ask you if the next coming year is going to be better. And you often do give an answer, Rajesh.
Yeah, okay. I need to be more careful than that then. See, the momentum is there, as you've clearly seen from the deal side of it. And from an industry perspective, various industry groups are coming together. We have called out the bottoming out in retail. And as you've seen, some of the deals are coming from that.
And you've said the big challenge that is BFSI, another 2 quarters left and that should start getting better.
I think so. We are much more constructive on insurance as we see this. And banking is still an area that's work in progress. And we need to see how that turns out. So other than that, most of the other industries are actually doing quite well.
At a group level, Chandra is working on increasing synergies. As you look at going to the next level, building the scale further, how important is synergies across Tata companies, the other IT companies, there's Tata Elxsi, there's Tata Technologies. Have you started those synergies already with the other IT companies in the group?
I think the chairman's message on simplification and synergy and scale is very powerful. Yeah. And technology per se could act as the single most integrating factor across the group. So there's a new chief digital officer in the group, and the thinking is also becoming much more widespread as to how do we optimize and how do we enable technology to act as a fabric that integrates across the entire group. So we are very excited about it and how do we participate in it. But it has to evolve. What
are the chances of a big bang Tata Elxsi TCS Tata Technologies merger?
You should ask their shareholders.
but is that an option, looking at a merger with other IT companies in the group?
That's not the focus of the agenda.
That isn't.
So, no.
Okay.
Right, on that note, we'll slip into a short break. On the other side, we'll get you an exclusive news break on why the IRDA, or the insurance regulator, has withheld final approval to Reliance Capital's health insurance foray. Stay tuned for that. Welcome back. You're still with us on Reporter's Diary. On to a CNBC TV18 exclusive now from the insurance space. We learned from sources that insurance regulator has withheld the final nod to Reliance Capital's foray into the health insurance space. Now remember, in his annual general meet in September 2017, Reliance Group Chairman Anil Ambani had announced the plan to set up a health insurance firm. Yash Jain, who broke that story, joins us now with more details. Yash, why has the IRDA withheld its final nod?
Let's just first understand at what stage Reliance Health approval process has reached so far. So in September 2017, they received their R1 or the first level approval, and in December 2017, they received the R2 or the second level approval from the insurance regulator, which means that they have 2 out of total 3 approvals required to start their health insurance operations. Now what we're given to understand here is that the insurance regulator IRDA has held the issuance of the final approval, which is R3, which will be required for the company to start to initiate the health insurance operations. Now, why has IRDA held this 3rd level of the final approval? What we're given to understand is that that has happened because Reliance Capital, which is the parent company of Reliance Health Insurance, is yet to receive the CIC nod or the CIC license, which is the core investment company license from the Reserve Bank of India. What is a CIC license? Essentially, Reliance Capital as a company has investments in approximately 20 companies from diverse sectors, and for a company like that, IRBI mandates such companies to put these investments into a core investment company model so that any potential threat from such investment does not take a toll or does not impact the capital at the NBFC business or the two existing life and general insurance business, and that particular license is yet to come in from the Reserve Bank of India's end. Here what I'm given to understand is that IRDA is very firm on its stand that till the time Reliance Capital does not submit this CIC license or the core investment company license, it will not issue the final approval, which will be of course a precondition for Reliance Health to start its business operations.
Right, thanks Yash for taking us through all those details. Let's also get you details from another CNBC TV18 exclusive. So sources are telling us that there may be a slight twist in the deal between Dish TV and Videocon D2H. We learned that there could be a change in the consolidation plan that could give Z Group full control. Now remember, according to the current merger plan, Dish TV will own 31% stake in the merged entity, while Videocon will own 38%. Nisha broke that story and she joins us now. Nisha, so what does this mean for the deal and why is Z Group disinterested in buying out Videocon stake?
This was the largest consolidation in the DTH space, and now Dish TV looks like is going to be in full control of the mega merged entity. Sources with direct knowledge, at least 2 independent sources, have shared with me that Dish TV is in talks to buy out Videocon D2H completely post the proposed merger. Now, what that will mean is that Dish TV, which was supposed to have 31% stake in the merged entity, and Videocon 28%, will buy out that 28% and merge it with itself in an all-share deal. This could also trigger an open offer for the merged entity stock for the minority shareholders of the company. So that is the proposed transaction that I'm gathering at this point could be what could really finally fructify. At this point, remember that in November 2016, Dish TV and Videocon had really announced the merger plan, and that merger has got all the approvals and could be a merged entity and be a listed merged entity by mid-March. Post that, this particular transaction to buy out Videocon completely could really be taken up by both the houses, and this is probably because insolvency proceedings has really been started by the lenders on some of the Videocon group entities, is what I gather.
Right, absolutely, Nisha. Thanks so much for joining us with all the details from that front. But the country says goodbye to Sri Devi. The actor has been accorded full state honours as the mortal remains were wrapped in the tricolour. Friends, family, fans have paid their last respects to the deceased superstar. We leave you with those images from today.